Did you know that 70% of people who set New Year's resolutions give up within just a few weeks? Or that over-optimism can actually increase your chances of failure? It's true. In a world where positive thinking is sold as the ultimate key to success, many are unknowingly walking into a trap. The idea that thinking positive will fix everything sounds great, but what if I told you that it could actually be harming you? What if the pressure to always stay happy or think positively is setting you up for more stress, disappointment, and anxiety? In this video, we'll dive deep into why positive thinking isn't always your best friend and how it could even be making your life harder. We'll uncover surprising truths and explore real-life strategies you can use to shift your mindset and build real, lasting success. Stick with us and get ready to challenge everything you thought you knew about positivity. Chapter 1. The Dark Side of Optimism. Unmasking the myths. While positive thinking is often hailed as a pathway to success, there's a darker side to it. Optimism, when taken to an extreme, can lead to unrealistic expectations. Think about it. If you're always told that thinking positively will bring you everything you want, what happens when things don't go as planned? You're left feeling confused, frustrated, and even self-critical. Research shows that around 80% of people fail to achieve their New Year's resolutions, and unrealistic optimism might be part of the problem. The problem with unchecked optimism is that it can ignore important details. When we focus only on positive outcomes, we're less likely to prepare for setbacks. As psychologist Gabrielle Oettingen points out in her book Rethinking Positive Thinking is not enough. To achieve our goals, we need to acknowledge reality and plan for obstacles. She emphasizes that mental contrasting, a technique where you balance optimism with the awareness of obstacles, is crucial for goal success. So, how can you embrace optimism without falling into the trap of magical thinking? Start by grounding your positivity in reality. Recognize that challenges are inevitable and part of the process. According to a study by the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology, people who used mental contrasting to set realistic goals were significantly more successful in achieving them than those who relied solely on positive thinking. Another way to maintain balance is by setting small, manageable goals. Rather than focusing on the grand outcome, break down your journey into achievable steps. This keeps you motivated and less likely to feel overwhelmed. Plus, each small success will reinforce your positive mindset, but within the context of realistic expectations. Lastly, practice gratitude. Studies show that gratitude helps you stay grounded. A study published in Psychological Science revealed that people who regularly practice gratitude experience greater happiness and less anxiety. Gratitude helps balance optimism with an appreciation for what you already have. It shifts your mindset from, "I need more," to, "I'm thankful for what I have," which ultimately leads to greater contentment. Chapter 2. Toxic Positivity. When being happy all the time backfires. Toxic positivity is the belief that we must always maintain a happy, cheerful attitude, regardless of the situation. But in reality, this can have harmful effects on both mental and physical health. According to a study from the Journal of Social and Clinical Psychology, when people suppress negative emotions in favor of maintaining a positive front, they're more likely to experience symptoms of depression and anxiety. The pressure to always be happy can also create a sense of isolation. When you feel like you have to constantly appear cheerful, you're less likely to open up about real struggles. In fact, 70% of people report that they feel more alone when they suppress their true feelings. In her book The Gifts of Imperfection, Brené Brown talks about how vulnerability is essential for building connections. She says, "Courage starts with showing up and letting ourselves be seen. Instead of chasing an endless state of happiness, allow yourself to feel your emotions fully, whether they're positive or negative. The key is to acknowledge your feelings, not judge them." Mindfulness is an effective tool for this. A study in Mindfulness Journal found that practicing mindfulness can help reduce the negative impact of toxic positivity. By being mindful of your emotions, you allow them to pass without suppressing or exaggerating them. One powerful strategy for combating toxic positivity is to practice emotional validation. This means acknowledging your emotions without trying to change them. If you're feeling sad or stressed, give yourself permission to feel that way. Over time, you'll discover that you're not as overwhelmed by negative emotions, and you'll build emotional resilience. Also, consider the impact of social media. Research suggests that people often feel pressured to maintain a perfect online image, which contributes to stress and anxiety. By limiting your exposure to perfect online personas, you can reduce the pressure to always appear happy. Remember, being authentic is more important than always being happy. When you accept the full range of your emotions, you create a healthier, more balanced mindset. Chapter 3. The Danger of Denial. Suppressing reality for the sake of positivity. When we deny or suppress negative emotions in favor of positive thinking, we risk undermining our mental health. Ignoring or brushing aside feelings like sadness, anger, or fear doesn't make them go away, it just causes them to build up. According to the American Psychological Association, people who consistently suppress negative emotions are more likely to experience long-term stress and even physical health problems. Research by Dr. James Pennebaker, a pioneer in the field of emotional expression, shows that people who bottleneck their emotions have weaker immune systems and a higher risk of chronic illness. The act of expressing emotions, on the other hand, boosts both mental and physical health. In Emotional Intelligence, Daniel Goleman highlights how emotional awareness, recognizing and addressing your emotions, is essential for healthy functioning. Instead of denying your feelings, try to sit with them for a moment. Label your emotions. Research shows that simply naming your feelings can reduce their intensity and help you process them. This strategy, known as affect labeling, has been shown to reduce emotional distress. The act of acknowledging emotions allows you to deal with them in a healthier way. Another key strategy is to practice self-reflection. By regularly checking in with yourself, you can identify when you're suppressing emotions. Journaling is an excellent tool for self-reflection. Writing about your thoughts and feelings has been proven to lower stress levels and improve emotional health. Creating space for your emotions also means setting boundaries. If you're feeling overwhelmed, it's okay to step back from a situation or conversation. Learn to say no when necessary, and don't feel guilty for doing so. A study in the Journal of Applied Psychology found that people who set healthy boundaries experience lower levels of burnout and greater overall life satisfaction. Lastly, talking to others about your struggles is essential. People often think that being positive means they have to deal with everything alone. But the truth is, asking for help is a strength, not a weakness. Research shows that people who have a strong support system are better equipped to handle life's challenges. If you've found this helpful so far, don't forget to subscribe for more insights and strategies to navigate life's challenges. Chapter 4. Expecting Perfection. The pitfalls of perfectionist thinking. Many of us have been conditioned to believe that if we think positively enough, everything will turn out perfectly. But here's the catch: perfectionism isn't the same as excellence. In fact, chasing perfection can prevent us from ever achieving our true potential. Studies show that 30% of people struggle with perfectionism, and the number is growing. Perfectionism often leads to procrastination and burnout, not success. Perfectionists are often paralyzed by the fear of making mistakes. Instead of taking action, they wait for the perfect moment that never comes. Research from the Journal of Behavioral Medicine suggests that perfectionism is linked to higher stress levels and increased risk of anxiety and depression. The constant drive to be flawless creates a sense of failure even when we're making progress. The first strategy to combat perfectionism is to embrace imperfection as part of the process. Author Brené Brown, in her book The Gifts of Imperfection, writes, "Perfectionism is not the same thing as striving to be your best. Perfectionism is, at its core, about trying to earn approval. When you let go of perfectionism, you give yourself permission to fail and learn." A great way to do this is by setting good enough goals instead of aiming for perfection. The 80-20 rule, or the Pareto principle, tells us that 80% of our results come from 20% of our effort. Focus on the most important tasks that will move you forward. This helps you avoid getting stuck in a loop of endless refining, which is a hallmark of perfectionism. Another useful strategy is to celebrate progress over perfection. Small wins are motivating and provide momentum. A study published in Psychology Today found that celebrating small successes increases dopamine levels, boosting motivation and overall happiness. You don't need to wait for the end goal to feel accomplished. Enjoy the steps along the way. Lastly, practice self-compassion. Instead of harshly criticizing yourself for not being perfect, treat yourself with the same kindness you would offer a friend. Research from the Journal of Research in Personality found that people who practice self-compassion are better at handling setbacks and bouncing back from failure. Perfectionism might seem like a path to success, but embracing imperfection is the real key to growth. If you're finding this video valuable, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more powerful personal development tips. Chapter 5. The Anxiety of Always Being Positive, Overcoming the Pressure to Perform. In a world filled with motivational quotes and self-help mantras, it's easy to think that we need to be positive all the time. However, constantly striving to be upbeat can lead to anxiety, rather than relief. Research from the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that people who feel pressured to maintain a positive outlook often experience more anxiety and distress. The need to always look on the bright side can actually make us feel worse. When you suppress your true emotions, you're not addressing the root of your stress. For example, pretending to be happy when you're feeling sad can make it harder to process your feelings. According to Dr. Susan David, author of Emotional Agility, by bottling up our emotions, we're not acknowledging the reality of our experience. Instead, we're suppressing our emotional truth, which leads to more stress. Denying negative emotions can prevent us from learning from them and finding the path forward. The first step to overcoming the pressure of always being positive is to accept all emotions. Emotions, both positive and negative, are part of being human. Research in the Journal of Clinical Psychology shows that people who accept their negative emotions are less likely to experience long-term stress. It's important to understand that feeling sad, angry, or fearful does not make you weak. It makes you human. Another helpful strategy is to practice mindfulness. Mindfulness involves focusing on the present moment without judgment. According to the American Psychological Association, mindfulness can reduce symptoms of anxiety, depression, and stress. By practicing mindfulness, you can learn to observe your emotions without getting overwhelmed by them. One useful tool for managing negative emotions is cognitive reframing. This involves changing how you perceive a situation to reduce its emotional impact. For example, if you face a setback, instead of thinking, "I failed," try reframing it to, "This is an opportunity to learn." Research from the Journal of Positive Psychology found that people who practice reframing are more resilient and better at managing stress. Lastly, remember that it's okay to seek support. Talking about your struggles with a friend, family member, or therapist can ease the pressure of maintaining a perfect outlook. A study from the American Journal of Public Health found that people with strong social support are better able to cope with stress and emotional challenges. You don't have to do it alone. Chapter 6. Building Resilience. Embracing the full range of emotion. Resilience isn't about avoiding tough emotions or pretending everything is okay when it's not. True resilience comes from embracing both the good and the bad. According to Dr. Susan David, resilience is about emotional agility, being able to face your emotions without letting them control you. She says, resilience is not about bouncing back to who we were before, but about bouncing forward to who we can become. The key to building resilience is to stop running from negative emotions. A study in the Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that people who experience and process negative emotions are more likely to recover from adversity. Ignoring or suppressing emotions only increases stress in the long run. Instead, confront your feelings and allow yourself to learn from them. One strategy for building resilience is to keep a resilience journal. Writing about your emotions, challenges, and successes can help you process difficult situations. Research in the Journal of Traumatic Stress found that expressive writing can reduce stress and improve well-being. By putting your thoughts on paper, you make sense of them and start to feel more in control. Another important strategy is to reframe adversity as an opportunity for growth. When faced with a challenge, ask yourself, what can I learn from this? Reframing challenges as learning experiences builds resilience. According to a study in the Journal of Positive Psychology, reframing difficulties helps people develop a growth mindset, which is crucial for resilience. Self-care is also essential in building resilience. Exercise, sleep, and good nutrition all play a role in your ability to handle stress. Research from the National Institute of Mental Health shows that physical activity can improve mood and reduce anxiety. Taking care of your body gives you the strength to navigate life's challenges with more ease. Lastly, don't forget the power of community. Building strong social connections can help you stay resilient during tough times. A study from the American Journal of Public Health found that people with strong social support are less likely to experience mental health issues during stressful periods. Surround yourself with people who support and encourage you. Make sure to subscribe and stay tuned for more strategies on building resilience and overcoming life's challenges.